Another Halloween season is upon us, and famous haunted locations are busy preparing for this major festival, including the RMS Queen Mary, one of the most famous haunted ships in the world. This ship has a strange connection to Halloween. Her final voyage departed on Halloween Day, and today she hosts one of the most terrifying and renowned Halloween events in America. The Queen Mary isn't just haunted. She is a part of Halloween, once celebrated as the pinnacle of transatlantic luxury. The RMS Queen Mary now rests peacefully in sunny Long Beach, California. But that peace is only superficial. Beneath the remaining glamorous shell, this ship is widely known as one of the most heavily haunted places on the planet. Countless visitors, paranormal investigators, and even historians agree this royal ocean liner is not just a resting place for the famous, but also a dwelling for restless spirits. So how did a magnificent royal ship become the ghost ship of Long Beach? What tragedies occurred on her decks and in her luxurious cabins? And which spirits are said to still roam these silent corridors? Join me as we dive deep into the history and ghost stories of the Queen Mary, a journey where a tragic past and a haunted present intertwine, especially as the Halloween night descends. Before we set sail into these mysterious spiritual waters, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel. Your support is the driving force that keeps us exploring the most terrifying locations. Now hold tight to your spiritual life vest. We're about to board the haunted Queen Mary. The story of the Queen Mary begins with the ambition of the Cunard Line in 1930, amidst the dawn of the Great Depression. They wanted to create an unparalleled luxury ocean liner, a symbol of the strength and recovery of the British Empire. Launched in 1934 and making her maiden voyage in 1936, the ship was named after Queen Mary, wife of King George V. Although rumor has it the line initially intended to name her Victoria, but the king misunderstood their intention, leading them to name it after his wife. The Queen Mary truly was a marvel of her era. Over 1,000 feet long and weighing over 81,000 tons, she was larger and more luxurious than the Titanic. Inside was a world of opulence with exquisite Art Deco interiors featuring over 50 types of precious woods for paneling, a library, gymnasium, squash court, ballroom, 2 swimming pools, and even a hospital. She quickly became the preferred mode of transport for the elite. Hollywood stars like Greta Garbo, Clark Gable, Fred Astaire, Audrey Hepburn, and politicians like Sir Winston Churchill. Throughout her career, she carried over 2.2 million passengers across the Atlantic. But the golden age didn't last forever. When World War II broke out in 1939, the Queen Mary's splendor was masked by dull gray paint for camouflage. She was requisitioned as a troop ship, earning the new nickname Grey Ghost due to her incredible speed and ability to evade German U-boats. Modified to carry 16,000 soldiers at a time, the Queen Mary played a crucial role in the Allied war effort, transporting around 810,000 military personnel across the oceans. Adolf Hitler even offered a reward to any U-boat captain who could sink her. However, war always leaves scars, and the Queen Mary was no exception. In 1942, a horrific tragedy occurred. While sailing in a zigzag pattern to avoid torpedoes, the Queen Mary accidentally collided with her own escort ship, HMS Curacoa, slicing the smaller vessel in half. Under strict wartime naval protocol, the Queen Mary was forbidden to stop for rescue operations, as doing so would make her an easy target for enemy submarines. Over 300 sailors aboard the Curacoa perished in the cold waters of the Atlantic. This catastrophic accident was kept secret until after the war, and is believed to be one of the primary reasons for the intense haunting aboard the Queen Mary today. Many believe the sounds of clashing metal, rushing water, and the screams of the drowning men still echo around the bow of the ship where the collision occurred. For me, this gray ghost phase is an incredibly important chapter in shaping the ship's haunting atmosphere. the contrast between her previous luxury and her deadly wartime function, the journeys carrying thousands of soldiers facing death, and especially the tragedy of HMS Curacoa, all created a layer of dark energy, a traumatic memory enveloping the ship. Many of the Queen Mary's military records remain classified, adding to the mystery and speculation about what truly happened during those years. After the war, the Queen Mary was refitted and continued to serve as a luxury ocean liner for 2 more decades. However, the rise of air travel made long sea voyages obsolete. In 1967, after more than 1,000 Atlantic crossings, the Queen Mary embarked on her final voyage. And like a strange omen, the ship departed from Southampton precisely on October 31st, Halloween night. She docked in Long Beach, California on December 9, 1967, and was purchased by the city to be converted into a floating hotel, museum, and tourist attraction. The ship that once roamed the oceans was now permanently moored. But perhaps its fate as a haunted icon was predetermined long ago. In 1934, just after the ship was launched, a British psychic named Lady Mabel Fortescue Harrison made a peculiar prediction. The Queen Mary will know her greatest fame and popularity when she never sails another mile or carries another fare-paying passenger. That prophecy came true in an astonishing way. Since being docked in Long Beach, the Queen Mary has become a world-renowned paranormal hotspot, attracting more attention than even during her heyday. The name, the Ghost Ship of Long Beach, was born. The connection between the Queen Mary and Halloween doesn't stop with her final voyage. For many years, the ship utilized its inherently creepy atmosphere and haunted reputation to host one of the largest and most impressive Halloween events in Southern California. Dark Harbor. This event transformed the entire ship and surrounding area into a massive horror festival. What made Dark Harbor exceptional was how it wove the Queen Mary's real history and actual ghost stories into its haunted mazes and performances. Instead of just walking through fabricated sets, visitors navigated the very corridors, rooms, and decks where supernatural phenomena had been reported for decades. Many mazes were designed based on the ship's famous spirits and dark tales. For example, there was once a maze inspired by the infamous Stateroom B340, where visitors confronted poltergeist activity and the angry spirit said to haunt the room. Other mazes might have drawn inspiration from the story of John Pedder in the engine room, the spirits in the swimming pool, or even the HMS Curacoa tragedy. What set Dark Harbor apart was the setting. You weren't just walking through sets, you were walking through genuinely haunted spaces. The sense of fear was exponentially amplified knowing that the strange noises you heard, the shadows you glimpsed, might not entirely be the work of actors or special effects. The Dark Harbor event also created iconic characters based on the ship's spirits or legends such as Scary Mary, the Captain, Half-Hatch Henry, and the Ringmaster. These characters became living embodiments of the Queen Mary's terror. Beyond the mazes, Dark Harbor featured street performances by sliders, horror circus acts, virtual reality experiences, themed bars, and costumed actors roaming everywhere. It created an immersive Halloween horror atmosphere that enveloped the entire ship. The Dark Harbor event became a significant part of California's Halloween culture, attracting tens of thousands of people each year. It demonstrated the powerful allure of the Queen Mary, where history, legend, and fear blend perfectly, especially during the spooky season. However, after the COVID-19 pandemic, Dark Harbor was temporarily suspended and replaced by another event. But the good news is that in 2024, Dark Harbor officially returned under new management, promising to continue delivering terrifying Halloween nights aboard the legendary Ghost Ship. Hosting such a large-scale Halloween event on a site with a tragic history, and believed to be genuinely haunted, certainly raises interesting questions. On one hand, it helps fund the preservation of the historic ship and offers a unique experience to visitors. On the other hand, Does it trivialize the suffering of the spirits thought to still be trapped there? Regardless, the powerful synergy between the Queen Mary and Dark Harbor is undeniable, making the ship an unmissable Halloween destination for thrill seekers. So, which spirits are said to still haunt the Queen Mary? The list is long, estimated to be between 150 and even 600 spirits. Here are some of the most famous residents. John Petter, Door 13, Engine Room. As mentioned, this 18-year-old engineer was crushed to death by watertight door number 13 during a safety drill in 1966. His spirit, often seen in blue overalls and sometimes with a beard, is said to linger near this fateful door in Shaft Alley. Visitors often hear clanging metal, feel sudden drops in temperature, and glimpse his apparition before it vanishes. Spirits of the first-class pool. This pool, though long drained, remains a hotspot of activity. People often hear laughter, splashing sounds, and see mysterious wet footprints leading to the changing rooms. The two most famous spirits here are Jackie, a little girl about 5-6 years old, often seen holding a teddy bear. She is believed to have drowned in the second-class pool, though no official records confirm this. Jackie's spirit is very active, enjoys playing peekaboo with visitors from the balcony overlooking the pool, and is often heard calling for her mommy. Sarah, another little girl said to be Jackie's protector. Woman in a 1930s swimsuit, a silent apparition often appearing near the changing rooms before vanishing. Vortex. The changing room area and narrow hallway leading to the first-class pool are considered by many psychics to be the center of spiritual energy on the ship. Another vortex attracting spirits. Visitors often feel dizzy or get goosebumps when passing through here. Spirits from the HMS Curacoa collision. As mentioned, screams, the sound of crushing metal and rushing water, are reportedly still heard near the bow of the ship. These are the tragic echoes of the over 300 sailors who died. Stateroom B340, the most intensely haunted room on the ship. Activity includes blankets being pulled off beds, faucets turning on by themselves, lights flickering, doors opening and closing, mysterious knocking, and shadow figures. The room was closed for 30 years before reopening in 2018 with a special paranormal experience package, complete with an Ouija board. While many rumors circulate about murders occurring here, no records confirm them. The only documented death in the room was passenger Walter J. Adamson in 1948, cause unknown. William Eric Stark, senior second officer, who died in 1949 after mistakenly drinking carbon tetrachloride cleaning fluid, thinking it was gin. Loud cabinet slamming at night is attributed to him, still searching for that fateful drink. The Lady in White, often seen dancing alone in the Queen's Salon, former first-class lounge, near the piano to music no one else can hear. Her identity remains a mystery. Grumpy, a spirit known to growl in people's ears and whose presence is often felt in large groups. Al Capone. Correction note: the source material incorrectly associates Al Capone's ghost and banjo playing with the Queen Mary. This famous ghost story belongs to Alcatraz prison, where Capone was incarcerated. Al Capone was never imprisoned on the Queen Mary. I am noting this discrepancy as mentioned in the source material. A.B. Butcher Moldowitz, a hitman for Murder, Inc., supposedly killed by another inmate in the laundry room, another detail likely belonging to Alcatraz history. Psychic Sylvia Brown believed she contacted his angry spirit here. Other spirits, cries of an infant in the former nursery, shadow figures walking along the promenade deck, and countless other noises, cold spots, and strange smells. The diversity of spirits and phenomena on the Queen Mary is astounding. From playful children to tragic figures, elegant ladies to cold-blooded killers. It's like a microcosm of the afterlife, all coexisting on a single ship. With such a vibrant, haunted reputation, the Queen Mary has become a must-visit location for paranormal investigators and TV shows. Shows like Ghost Adventures, The Dead Files, Most Haunted Ghost Lab, and TAPS, Ghost Hunters, have all been here and recorded stunning evidence. They have captured EVPs, shadow figures, moving objects, and had direct interactions with the spirits believed to reside on board. Today, visitors can experience the chills firsthand through various ghost tours. From guided walks recounting ghost stories to intensive overnight paranormal investigations. You can even book Stateroom B340 for an unforgettable or sleepless night. The Queen Mary is more than just a ship. She is an archive of stories, a living and perhaps undead museum of the lives that passed through her. From the golden age of ocean travel through the dark years of war to her current status as a haunted icon, this ship continues to fascinate and haunt us. The spirits aboard, whoever they are and for whatever reason they remain, are an inseparable part of the Queen Mary legend. They are echoes of the past, reminders of tragedy, love, loss, and the mysteries that lie beyond our understanding. When you step onto the decks of the Queen Mary, remember you're not just visiting a historic ship. You are entering a world where past and present intersect, where the departed still walk among us. And who knows, you might leave not just with a souvenir but with a ghost story of your own. Because on the Queen Mary, the dead don't always disembark. Thank you for joining me on this haunting voyage. What do you think about the spirits on the Queen Mary? Do you believe in Lady Mabel's prophecy? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to continue joining us on the path to unveiling the world's most terrifying mysteries. Goodbye and see you next time.